Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Bufnagle the podcast, where we explore entertaining and enlightening discussions of the adventure of life and all things good. From science and technology to history and philosophy to leadership and success. We hope to give you a better understanding of the world and skills for everyone to pursue their own adventure.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Buff and Eagle, the podcast, where we talk about all things good in the pursuit of the adventure of life. I am Rafe, and like Harry says, it is going to be a great day. He's not with us today, but we will make it a great day regardless.
It's going to be a great day.
And one of the reasons it's going to be a great day is because we have the world's greatest listeners. We are a global top 10% podcast because of our listeners. As usual, you can reach us at bufnagle.com. Remember to share the love, share the buff. Tell your friends to listen and they will get a free episode. Hit the 5-star review thing. I guess that's a rating. Give us a 5-star rating and then write us a review that says like all the wonderful reasons you gave us a 5-star rating. And remember to subscribe or follow or, pal around, whatever the term is there. Hit the like button, the smiley stars, whatever you have there. And, tell a friend to listen, you will get a free episode. And if we get one of those 5-star reviews, then we all get lovely things to eat. Well, today is it's just a normal, wonderful spring day. And there are a couple things. I think this is going to be a little quick today because I don't have a lot of big grand things. There's some grand things we're working on. I will guarantee that. But I don't have a grand picture for today. I'm still coming off the high of that eclipse last week and all the wonderful things that we saw in that. And I have some other things I'm working on regarding that. But there were two things I saw last week on the interwebs that are not necessarily, well, they're seemingly unrelated. Let's just say that. And it seemed to me that somehow they actually were related. So the first one was a little post of a boy, maybe 3 or 4 years old. One of these, you get these little kids and they toddle around, they do funny things. And this was a little kid kind of on a farm, like a little farmstead. And he was probably, like I said, 3 or 4, barefoot, no shirt, but overalls. You know how the kid looks, right? And he had a wagon. I'm putting this back together. I remember what I'm doing is I saw something. This is kind of how I remember it, but I'm pretty sure some of these details are wrong. So he had a wagon, I think, and he had maybe a little shovel, and he was putting things in the wagon, like rocks or dirt or chickens or something. He was doing that and then dragging them around, or maybe he had a little tractor that he was, like a pedal tractor, and he was putting stuff in the wagon and then driving it around and then dumping it out and doing those things. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I would do a search for this, but I think even the artificial intelligence machine could not determine the actual stupidity of my question. Show me the picture of the boy with the chickens in the tractor or whatever it was. So there was the picture, this little video of this boy doing little boy stuff, which is, people think it's cute because it is. And people think it's wholesome. And I thought the same thing because I'm easily moved by such sap as that. And the parent who obviously did the posting, it wasn't the kid. The parent noted something like, my son is learning everything he needs to know at this age. And it might have been that he was learning how to take good care of chickens or something. And there was a statement like, this is his world. And he kind of zoomed out and he showed, there's the house and with the porch, and there's the barn and some like chickens and the tractor and rocks and stuff like that. And the statement was that the child, the boy, was in his world. It was a small world. It was safe and it was secure. And the father said he has everything he needs here. There was some statement like, people tell me he needs to see the big picture, but I don't see why he has to see the big picture. That was his thing. I was like, he's 4. There's no need for a big picture. He's got rocks and he's got a wagon, so he should be happy. And I thought I thought of his world, this little kid's world, as being bounded. The words I used in my head were bounded and right sized. This boy has this area around him. The dirt driveway comes in and there's the house and there's some fields and that's his world. It's this little bounded world, and it is right sized for a 4-year-old with a wagon and some rocks. And that stuck with me for a couple of days until I saw some stuff from some recent news, which was a little video of nighttime in Jerusalem. And there were some rockets. I guess they were rockets or drones or something lighting up the night sky, going across the night sky. And these were rockets. They were not the good kind of rockets. Okay, they were not the let's go explore the world kind of rockets. These were the rockets with warheads on them, and they were shooting over the dome of the rock. That was the picture. You'd see the picture in the front, and they were going over Jerusalem. And there was some statement about, here we go again. Right, this is where we are. And I thought, well, more war, sigh. And that was the thought I had was here we go again. And it goes on and on and on. And then the question came into my head, and this was kind of a new question for me, at least at this point. And it was, do you really think it's ever going to stop? Why are you surprised at this? Was the other part, somebody on my right shoulder and somebody on my left shoulder. I'm not sure which one was the devil and which was the angel. Maybe they were both saying at the same time. Do you really think it's going to stop? Who's going to stop it? You? And I think of Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. Who's going to stop it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? Who's going to do that? And I thought, well, no, nobody can do that. That's not a thing that gets done. This has been going on as long as anything has been going on. This is, what do they say? Death, taxes, and that, and fights, wars, and it doesn't really matter. The issue with Israel and Jews is a big thing, and it's always been a big thing. But there are lots of other little things too, like that. There's always fights and squabbles and rockets being launched and people fighting with other people. And as I thought about that question of who's going to stop it, the question was the realization was that, of course it's going to keep going on. This was the new realization as I was sitting at the stoplight thinking about this, is yes, it's going to keep going on. That's the nature of the world we are in. We are in a fallen world. Now, remember, this is a podcast talking about all good things. So we're gonna get back around to this. It feels kind of low here. It's kind of a nadir. Okay, we're in a fallen world. It can be sad, and it can be disheartening. And if you listen real carefully right now, you can hear as I'm recording, you're a siren running by. And so, so there's these things are always out there. Okay, so, but C.S. Lewis reminds us that this world here is not our home. You were not made for this. And that's why it feels disheartening, and that's why it feels sad, and that's why it feels depressing. We are simply resistance behind enemy lines. That's where we are right now. And there's the question then is, what do you do? And I started thinking about that, and the little boy in the overalls and the bare feet and the chicken and the rocks and the wagon. And I thought about the rockets going over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. And I said, what do we do about this? How do we reconcile these things? How do we take this lesson from the kid on the farm and apply it to the Dome of the Rock and the rockets? And the answer keeps coming back to me. And we've said this a number of times on a bunch of different episodes. And the answer is kind of short. It's 3 words, and it's do your job. And the question is, well, what is that job then? And well, the job is to put your rocks in your wagon and to work your space and to stay bounded and right sized. we get these perspectives of these really grand and giant schemes. We all have. I mean, which little kid, when you found out that there was somebody who was president, didn't think, well, I want to be president. That'd be kind of cool. I want to be head coach. I want to be president. I want to be commissioner. I want to be chief secretary general of the UN. I want to be. Everybody wants to be Star Trek commander or quarterback of the Packers or I don't know, starting center for the Lakers or something, right? You want to be the top guy on the big grand picture. And now it's even harder than ever because our worlds have become no longer right-sized and no longer bounded. And the answer is there can be a machete attack in Mogadishu and we'll hear about it. There will be rockets going over Israel and we hear about it. There can be a kid falls down a well in Texas and we hear about it. Like we're no longer right-sized. And the answer to that is to get right-sized, is to keep yourself bounded. These grand and giant schemes, they cause headaches. They never work. These big pictures, like here's what we'll do. We'll put this guy or this gal, put this person in charge of everything. And then we'll do a top-down thing, and we'll see how that works. It doesn't work. It's never worked. People try it all the time, and it doesn't go. And it causes despair. Look at the Tower of Babel. That was this big thing. Like, here's what we're going to do. Here's this big grand plan. We're going to take all these people. We're going to make them all talk the same language, and we're going to put them all together so that they can build this thing. It's going to solve all the problems. We're never going to get flooded out again. And you know what? That doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a recipe for despair. And it's the kind of thing Satan tries to get you to do that. All right. So that you lose track of where you are. And we are behind enemy lines. We are resistance. You must stay bounded and right-sized. We focus on this big picture, but that's a trap, right? So insert, like if we were really good at this podcast, at this point, there'd be that meme of that fish head guy from Star Wars going, "It's a trap, it's a trap." You can't win that battle. You can't win the big picture battle. You are not made for it. It's not your world. It's not your wheelhouse. It's not your job. You can't win there, but you can win, I guess I'll say it, in your space. You can win with your rocks and your wagon and your chickens, whatever they are, however that looks. Okay. You have to stay right-sized and don't fall into the trap. Satan wants you to despair. Don't. Do your job and have hope. Make your bed. Do your laundry, mow your lawn, and tend your flowers. Love your neighbors. You don't have to love. I mean, you can contemplate what's happening to somebody in Saskatchewan or in Copenhagen or wherever. But if you're not there, how is it? You're losing the concept of being right-sized. Love the people around you and near you. Love your spouse. Love your kids. Honor your parents. Call your mother. These are things that you can do that will push. It's gentle and it's soft and it doesn't look great. It doesn't win a medal from the UN. It's not going to get you a monument in the town square. It's not going to get your face on Mount Rushmore, but it will be your job. And when you do it, at the end you will hear, well done, good and useful servant, right? Or is that what it was? You've done well. You've done well. Enter the banquet. Okay. Live locally and live now. It's easy to think, well, 150 years from now, this is going to be a problem if we don't fix this thing. Stop. Live now. Live locally. Work your job. Come to balance and do your job. No one expects you to solve world wars. No one does. You keep getting fed this stuff on the interwebs. It's on the evening news. It's in the books we read. All of those things are grand and glorious things that seem like we should be able to address those, but that's useless worry. I mean, all worry is useless, right? That's like useless worry. it is something you have no control over, and all it does is bring you down. So don't despair. Make small batches of ice cream and serve them to your friends. Call your mom, like I said. Remember to call your mom. Don't try to love humanity so much that you forget about the guy next to you. It all starts at home. Do you want to change the world? Like I said, make your bed. Change yourself. Stop trying to feed 5,000. Instead, just feed your family. Don't get trapped. Focus on the homeowners association and not the UN. Focus on your household, not your continent. You worry about your rocks and your wagon. Be the resistance behind enemy lines, and all shall be well. Remember, seek the good, live virtuously, and you will flourish, and enjoy the adventure of life.